just because I don't have anything smart to say this episode doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to it.
You need a dictionary when you write your raps. Until the penitentiary just for 100 seconds. I had a vision back when I was fishing for a bass, but they won't listen to you in your kitchen down cash. I got the dollars, mother credit scope. Big bag of chronic like I'm sacking up at in the scope. My pistol polish any problems, I'ma pull it home. Peter Parker, but I've yet to reach my pinnacle.
Oh dang! Oh, well, yeah, we could just like edit in like a part 2 coming soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we plan to do it anyway. Just to like have the publications like together.
There's a long section where we weren't even talking anything about like.
It doesn't matter.
Supposed to talk.
No, that's how that's how it goes over here.
That's the vibe we wanted, because this, like we said, this is a window, not a door. We do what we want
in the diary.
We're unapologetically black in this space.
We go talk about whatever we want to talk about.
And it just
why
happens that black people have a lot of
paperwork.
A lot of black conversation has a whole lot of segues. Deal with it.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get into,
okay. So essentially, whoa, mind blown. Did not know that was a thing. I just knew that.
I mean, obviously, like, it might not be true, but that's what I'm saying because I learned it from something. Mm-hmm. Just to cover my bases.
That's just an interesting way to go about it. So essentially, I'm a new media major, and I kind of am obsessed with animation, but I don't know if that's exactly what I want to go into. And the way I experienced art was essentially like, the classics. You got to learn how to do anatomy. You got to learn color theory. Blah, blah, blah. I say blah, blah, blah because truly, you kind of don't need it. And here's why. No, I'm putting like it's redundant because the thing about it is they make you learn it so that they can tell you that now you can make what you want, your own art. Because a lot of people who do abstract art have to learn the basics and then they can go into abstraction, which I think is just crazy. Classical art mostly consists of white art. I have never sat down and had a conversation in an art class where they mention black art. The only time I've ever heard of a black artist was in history class, and it was one black man, Aaron Douglas. And I fell in love with his art. I was so obsessed. I don't know how to do it. It's complicated, but I would dedicate a day to learn his art style.
Wait, bro. Can we get into, because you just touched on something about you never sat in a class where they talked about black art.
Okay.
Wait. I would like to say this, because we can really get into this. Mm-hmm. And this is like, this could be like a whole other episode where we can get Dr. Ruffin and do a whole little thing.
Yeah.
But
that'd be cool.
But y'all really need to like pay attention to what you're learning.
That part.
Because you may think UNC Asheville is super liberal, progressive. Oh my gosh, we're so diverse. Oh my gosh, we're so inclusive. And then you sit in a humanities class that is supposed to be the modern world and only learn about Europe.
I mean, yeah.
Or only like you learn about Europe as like the main point, and you learn about other civilizations that later on play into the main idea of Europe and like the effect that it had on Europe.
I can agree with that. You probably have to take an Africana studies class in order to get any aspect of that, because this is me from my own experience. A lot of humanity classes just consist of telling you about Eurocentrism, which is literally what black children grow up with 24/7, and then it talks about how you got to learn, unlearn, blah blah blah, and try to be a better person. Essentially, the humanities classes are for white students because I already know all that stuff. I do.
No, that's another thing. Like, bro, being black and being in a sociology class at UNCA.
That's
what?
Tough. I've started to just not talk about things because it's like she's like, oh, what's your heritage in my humanities class? And everyone gives their heritage, and I'm like, the only black person, mind you, in there is like, oh, my great grandma's parents were most likely enslaved and or in what is it when they it was not slavery, but it was like they gave them
sharecroppers.
They were like sharecroppers or something. I don't know. But I know for a fact that my great grandmother was married to like an indigenous man. He would like hunt and stuff. I was told all types of stories. My great grandma would teach us Pig Latin.
Hey yo, that's fun.
I didn't catch on to it. If anything, my older sister got more of it. We just know what an onskay is. She would call us onskays all the time.
She don't need that. She don't need it. Take it from her. She's too powerful.
Yeah. She doesn't have a lot. It was just mostly onskay and then the occasional other word. So yeah, I don't know where this was going.
Yeah, we just talking about when you're like, ooh, oh my God, Asheville is so inclusive. Oh my God, please come here. If you're talking to like your black friends and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, like we're so inclusive and we're so diverse and the curriculum is like so whatever. Like think about it. Like really think about it. Think about what you're learning about.
Yeah, while you talking about their heritage, just like, oh yeah, we were Irish. We were planting potatoes.
And also, can
blah,
we
blah,
stop
blah.
talking? Like, can we stop being like, ooh, family trees? Please stop.
Yeah,
because I promise you, the black students.
We don't enjoy going down there.
We dread making family trees. I hate making family trees.
I promise half my family is lost in the sauce.
Period. Like period. Like, bruh, like making oh my God, making a family tree is like stressful.
It is. Not to mention like the whole complexity thing of like life in general. Like there's some family members who have completely just been rebuked out of my family, and I don't know about them. I don't know about them.
I wish y'all could have seen that like that whole thing.
I just did like a reverse Kobe, but yes.
Please.
A reverse.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Definitely. I'm sorry.
Yo, on a similar note to what you were saying, Ruby, we in the music department.
Get at it.
In the music department,
mm-hmm.
Now, all the professors in the music department are very knowledgeable. And they try their best, and they do.
Are they all white? I thought you were gonna say white.
Not every. So like we do have
Carolina, right?
Carolina is Colombian.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
She's amazing. I love her. Shout out Carolina.
If she's ever gonna hear this, if she's ever gonna hear this,
she's never gonna hear this. Anyway, so yeah, like I'm talking about like as far as like music history and ethnomusicology and stuff like that.
Ooh, big words.
Big word.
That's fancy for like colonialism. And like studying music,
okay,
like under a microscope. But anyway, like we're taught, like we definitely do like learn a lot about black music forms because you have to if you're like in the music department. Like it's completely necessary. Like if you're a musician to like,
oh, it's proof.
Or hopefully you know about that stuff.
Mm-hmm. But
you're taught about it through a white lens, like because your professor is not black.
Yeah, well, are you required to like take classes that like talk about that stuff?
Yeah, you are.
Man.
Yes.
That must be rough.
But like then again, like if you're in the class, then like you choose to take whatever you take from it.
Yeah, and I want to say again, like the professors like definitely know what they're talking about.
It's just that
they're very smart, but they can't help they're still white. So like. And
that's not even like the professor's fault.
Like, no, it's not. And it's just like
I know that they feel their ears burning when they're like trying to like teach this stuff.
Yeah, and like it's like people they even address it like my professors right now are like obviously they know like I'm teaching you this as someone who is not black. But UNCA hire some black music faculty.
Hire black faculty in general, please.
I literally talked to a guy at one of the Africana Studies events. That sounds right. Yeah. My brain kind of stopped working for a sec. But yeah, he said like he came to this school or something for like music or whatever. He wasn't vibing with it and just went straight into social justice. And I said, cool.
I feel like that's what happens to a lot of people here. Like I feel like black people
funny.
here. Well, because I feel like black people here like you come here and you're like, okay, I know being black is hard. I know that, and then you come here and you're like, child, what did you just say to me? And then it's like, huh? Especially because I feel like it also just like awakens something in you when you were marketed a certain school and then you come and it's not the same school that you were marketed. But then again, like that's on me.
Talk about
like,
that brown cafeteria.
Please. No, but like
that cafeteria to the end.
No, but like that's just me like then again, that's on me for not looking up the demographics. Then again, I was like fresh out of high school.
Facts, and it's like speedy, that whole transition. And like I think
like you get the acceptance letter and then they're like, okay, confirm it, give me $300, thank you.
Yeah, and then you're in, it's just like I'm still the same person I was in high school and now I have to be me in college. That's
bro, I feel like we have to, oh my god, we have to get somebody on about like social justice and like how they got into it. And, like,
yeah, well the thing about it is he went into social justice, but he still kept with his music, like but he essentially like he did it himself because he was not vibing with the community around here and also the industry. I guess I feel
like especially like the campus in general is just real. It's very white, like the campus is, but the music department, from like what I've seen,
it's quite white.
Is it like is it white and male, or is it
no, there's
do you know like the ratio?
I do not know,
because like the mass comm ratio is like, I think it's like, well, because you know like at UNCA it's like for every one male there's like 3 females.
Yeah.
But like the mass comm department has like a lot of women compared to men. And I mean, from what I've seen of the music department, it seems like there's a lot of men.
There's a good, I mean,
but then again, I don't think. I mean, it's the music department, so I don't know who shows up to what.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because you have like I probably can't tell very well because I like my class sizes are tiny, and I'm not in any of the classes where you're like in the auditorium with the entire music department. So like, but yeah. Okay. But it's very much white, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
So like, I feel like being black and being a music major at UNCA,
or an artist in general.
Yeah, but like, cause it's but I know, cause I hate like the classes that I'm taking right now. It's like we're talking about like film and like sitcoms and stuff, and like talking about. Luckily, like my professor, like Stephanie O'Brien.
Oh, she's mega aware.
Yeah,
so, and she's not scared to
like,
point out.
Yeah, like luckily, like my professor, like just the other day, we were watching the Andy Griffith show.
Yeah.
And you know we're in North Carolina, and so like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, my granddaddy used to," whatever. And so my professor like let all the white people have their moment. And then was like, she was like, do you know what the Green Book is? People were like, what's the Green Book? You mean the movie? She's like, no, this is what the Green Book is. It was a book of places where you could go?
Where black people could go and should avoid.
Could and like should avoid, like when they're traveling. Mm-hmm. And she was saying like that town would have been in this book.
And it wouldn't have been a positive place.
Yeah, and she was saying like, because there was an episode where like this dude was from Charlotte and he was stopping in, and he was like ready to go, and like they had like let him stay like at their house, and she was saying like, I can't help but imagine what if he was a black man.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that would have been
thank
rough.
you, but like seeing, I feel like I'm in like just like what I'm studying and stuff is kind of like you see a lot of the misrepresentation of black people, and like the misrepresentation of the black family, and like just like
just not a lot of
like white people.
I don't feel like in my department, my major or whatever, I don't feel like I see a lot of that representation. I don't even know if we have like a black faculty member in there. I should probably look it up. Yeah. I feel like there isn't.
I was gonna say that like I feel like that person like being black and also like being in the music department where like a lot of music is influenced by black culture, and and knowing that in your heart and having to see like probably like a bunch of white men talk like very like ignorantly like just like about what like
I know they don't talking about being in there.
Yeah, like I know it's probably irritating to like sit there and like be like, oh let's listen to jazz like, you're like, and like this like white dude is like, actually, you know.
Yeah, it's not a good place to be. I don't know how everyone else like traverses my major, but like for me, very much space cadet, very much hard to be intact with reality sometimes. So the way I go about it is, like nowadays I'm trying to be more aware of it, and I'm realizing that me following like the classic like line of learning is like, it's very much giving colonialism, it's giving Eurocentrism, it's giving where you do what we want you to do, and then once you get our white man paperwork, you can go do what you want to do.
Okay, if y'all don't know what that is, the white man paperwork thing, it's it's this person, Dr. Umar. Don't look him up. We don't like him. But no, like we don't like him. He's not cool.
Yeah,
he's I don't know how he even became just like a person, like just like a figure. He's not even like a figure.
People were laughing at him.
Yeah, so like it's like a meme where he's like, why do I need white man paperwork?
He's very radical, but at the same time,
he's very radical. No, he's radical, but also like misogynistic and like homophobic and transphobic and very much a hotep. So,
yes.
And I'm not even gonna tell you what a hotep is. I don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, just avoid anyone. Just call it a hotep. That's all we gotta say. Yeah. So essentially, I knew how to draw from the get-go. Sure, you know, I don't know all the lingo people have to use today. It gets on my nerves trying to learn it because, you know, art student, I do this. Like, okay, just take it. This is my assignment. I'm doing it. Give it to you. But no, I have to learn color theory, blah, blah, blah. And then I have to write a little description about what I did so that other people can understand. And it's just like, just experience it. And then, heaven forbid, I try to make something and make it neutral. I took a creative writing class, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna be a big boy, you know, creative boy. I'm gonna do fantasy or something.
I dropped that class. I forgot.
Yeah, you dropped it. You left me in there, the only black person in there. Thanks, Ruby.
Okay.
No,
first of all,
no, because I'm gonna go ahead and speak my traumas.
Okay, wait. First of all, the reason why I dropped the class is because I was taking basic journalism.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
You were living your best life.
No, I was not living my best life. I was living my worst life. I was struggling. I came from Onslow County school systems. I was not taught grammar properly.
I wasn't either. I don't know what an adjective is.
Oh.
Period.
We're in college.
I don't care. I don't know. I Google it every time.
Me too.
And you know what?
What's an adverb?
And I wanted to be a novelist.
What's an adverb?
You're asking me?
Evo, tell us with
You
your
know
with your private school education. Tell us.
Go ahead.
Big man.
I could not tell you.
See? The
Wow.
education
Is it maybe like words that end in ly type?
That feels right.
beat?
That feels right.
Let me see.
Don't Google it. I'm going to tell my story. Creative writing. Okay. So
Wait, no, I was going to say something.
Okay, say it.
I forgot what I was going to say now.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's too late.
Okay, an adverb is a word or a phrase that modifies or qualifies an adjective, verb, or other adverb or word group, expressing a relation of place, time, circumstance. Gently, quite, then, there. That's what it is. He sings loudly.
I didn't absorb that, so...
Well, it's like, describes a verb, he sings loudly, an adjective, very tall, another adverb, ended too quickly.
What?
Child, I don't know. Did you retain it?
No.
Did you understand it?
I didn't really listen that hard.
All right, cool.
I'm an
anyways.
English major. I'm an artist.
Yeah, facts. I play music and...
But yeah, okay. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna write fantasy. That's the thing that I'm into. I'm obsessed with fantasy because reality ain't hitting.
Please.
So I go in there, and of course, you know, I learn about the different types of writing, and I realize, like, oh, like I might not get to do what I want to do in here. Soon as she gives us a reading or a little thing to do, it's like, oh yeah, do like a creative novel. I don't know. Essentially, I had to write about my traumas, like, and I wrote surface level, and then she probed me to go deeper.
See, I feel like
I don't want to share my black trauma among white peers and a white professor.
I know it was like a workshop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you had to like share what you wrote.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like, stop doing that. Like, stop.
And something in me, my ancestors were telling me, like, we've been through this. We don't do this. I feel uncomfortable being a creative in an environment where white people will perceive my art.
Yeah.
It's really tough to be in that situation, especially when I'm in such a sensitive state where I'm still figuring myself out as an artist. You can't have those kinds of like pressures and stuff. And this is going on one of the topics that we have listed, where essentially like, do you like limit like the media you look at or something like that? What I do is I go on social media, and there's no such thing as like a original idea. Like I've finally come to terms with that. Something will inspire something, and usually more often than not, a lot of my work or my inspiration comes from like real world stuff that I see. So like problems in society, I have to make something based off that. You guys stop eyeballing my cat.
I was just afraid that she was gonna mess up the interface.
She's a good gal. She won't.
No, she's not. Stop doing that.
Okay, hater. Anywho, I try my best to stay away from absorbing too much media, because if I do, I'll get overwhelmed, and then I'll go through this whole state where I'm stuck being in the roles that I hate, which is either one, I am creating what I love it to death, and then like it's being perceived by white eyes, and then they have to add their little bits and pieces about it. And then there's the other one where I'm forced into the role of being a social justice artist.
Yeah.
And like I feel like as an artist, a black artist, I shouldn't have to be forced into that role, because like I deserve to enjoy my life too. I don't have to sign my freaking life away to do that. Which, I mean, it's a good cause. I love it. Support it.
But it's just not, it's not like you don't.
It's not everybody's cup of tea.
You shouldn't have to do that. Like, you should want to do whatever you want to do with your art, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of automatically just like being forced into that realm. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Then again,
yo,
it could have been done so much easier than that.
It could have been.
My cat doesn't have street smarts. Leave her be.
Street smarts. Oh my gosh! Update on John Mulaney. He got Olivia Munn pregnant. Apparently, you know who that is?
What?
I know
Sloan.
the name. From
the newsroom. Y'all, that was such a niche reference I just made, and I'm mad he knew it.
Well, didn't y'all watch it together?
Yeah, but like nobody. What? What'd you say?
John Mulaney is the comedian man.
Yeah,
he's the guy who's all like, "Look at that high-waisted man. He's got feminine hips." That's my favorite one.
Let me make sure I know who this person is before I say something.
Like, "Bah!" You know, that's the thing. I feel like when I think of him,
he's always like, yelling.
Bah! He played the pig in Spider-Verse.
I knew that his voice sounded familiar.
Okay, yeah, I don't like him.
Why don't you like him?
He's not funny to me.
I love him.
Yo.
So yeah, that's
I
my
love that
take
for
on
y'all.
that.
Anyways, back on topic. Back on topic.
Okay. So essentially, while I was doing like my whole art boy thing, I didn't have anyone to hold my hand. It was just me and my dome. First time I was ever brought back into the real world was probably, like I said, when I learned about Aaron Douglas. But when I was trying to be a novelist, however, I found like another creative that I really liked. Well, I found two actually. There was Zora Neale Hurston, who blew my mind in writing like black narrative. Like I've never read something like the way she wrote it. It included like language that I knew of. Like when we were learning about it in like high school or whatever, I was like, I have no problem reading this page. I know what it says. And it felt good, and I understood the references. I knew what was up. It was a great time. It was therapeutic to read it. And my teacher was hyped about it for some reason too. She was a white woman. I don't know why she was hyped.
Please.
She wanted to talk about that girl under that peach tree so bad. Anywho. No, because she was like, it's masturbation. Anywho.
Oh my gosh.
After Zora Neale Hurston came Octavia Butler. I swoon at Octavia Butler. She is my favorite black writer in the world, simply because I'm obsessed with fantasy and sci-fi. Thank you guys for like letting me fangirl.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Can we embarrass Asia for a second? Asia, you want to tell Eva what you did today in class?
Oh my god, no!
Oh my god,
I was having such a good moment. Okay, so storyboarding class. They played
prepare yourself
for
the New Hope Cantina scene.
I'm not ready.
Okay,
the
so
New Hope Cantina scene. Got you.
Okay, so what happened was Professor shows us storyboards for it, and then asks us how it could be improved. My turn come up. I'm like, oh, Anakin could.
Asia.
If they would just show Anakin.
Asia.
And the person beside me was like,
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
And then I improved. I was like, okay, Luke, great. And I kept going, and I said Anakin again, cursed,
oh my
and
god.
then I gave up. I was just like, please. I was like, you guys know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, y'all. Okay, this is gonna be way off topic, but since we're talking about Star Wars, I want to get into something real quick.
Ooh.
This is what.
Because I'm about to go in right now.
I know.
I'm about to go in.
Because
Right
I
now.
see how.
And I feel like
this.
I feel like this relates to my major a little bit, so I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Because we scholars or whatever. So, Star Wars did me dirty, first of all. And let me say this. Let me say why. Okay. So, first of all, black character in Star Wars iconic, Lando Calrissian. Yes, I said that right?
Sure, Lando Calrissian, but it's fine.
I say Calrissian. Anyways,
you say what you want to say.
That's because my dad is. Anyways,
He's a stickler nerd boy.
He's weird. So he has like a weird, he says bear, he says beer. And
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Continue with your
story. Yeah. Anyways,
I'm uncomfortable.
But Lando Calrissian, right? Black character. Not a lot of people.
I'm sorry.
Not a lot of people even know who he is. Like, I feel like not a lot of people know who he is, like, as a character, unless you watch Star Wars. Okay, cool, whatever. And then we got Finn. That's the boy's name.
Well,
Finn?
don't skip over Mace Windu though.
I do that, please. Okay. Mace Windu was not, and then again, nobody thinks about Mace Windu.
They don't think about, and they did not make him.
Yeah, like I was
thinking.
No
way is he a central character.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of like icon wise.
Yeah.
Like Lando was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Not for a lot of people, but like Lando like was a big deal that like only unless you're like really into Star Wars. Like, everyone knows who Luke is. Everyone knows who Leia is. Everyone knows who Han is. Everyone knows who Chewbacca is. Whatever. But like, no one's like, ooh, Lando Calrissian. Like,
there was a time when he came out the movie, whatever. Everyone was like, oh heck yeah, Lando.
Yeah. But, no. That was after. That was whenever he got his own movie. When Donald Glover did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love Donald Glover.
Child, anyways.
So
like I'm about to get mad thinking about it. I don't know if anybody else remembers this. The iconic moment that was the trailer for Force Awakens when Finn turned on the lightsaber.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yes. And They baited us. They baited. Okay, you don't understand what happened.
I don't know.
Okay, so basically what happened was in The Force Awakens, like the trailer came out. The initial like teaser trailer was Finn. And there was a whole like Finn was like the main person like in the teaser trailer. And it was a big deal about Finn because he was black. And when I tell you, people lost their minds.
They were sending death threats.
Yeah. Because, the Star Wars fandom is white male.
Yeah. People
were upset. Very upset. John Boyega did not need to go through that for what they did with his character. At all.
Wow.
I mean, well, it's just...
They didn't do what, from...
They set it up like he was going to be, like, a main character. A black main character who is also a Jedi, which was never...
Is that, like,
that never
baiting?
happens. Yeah, okay.
This is what we call race baiting right now.
Well, okay, so the thing about it was that the way that they did before you watched the movie, you didn't really know who Finn was gonna be. Mm-hmm. And obviously I think like once the trailer started like rolling out, then it was like, oh, like Ray is a person, but you didn't know that, like you didn't know how significant Ray's character was going to be at the time. Like you didn't, like you thought Ray and Finn were on the same level.
Yeah, you didn't understand.
And so like Finn being what he was by the end, like he was honestly just like,
it's just wasted.
Yeah, like he was just like a side character to just like get Ray to where she needed to be.
I feel like that's how I've heard it was.
Yeah, and like it just makes me so mad. It makes me so mad thinking about it because, and this is like because when Force Awakens came out, I was a freshman in high school. Cool, whatever. But I had a baby brother.
That was freshman year of high school. Oh my.
That's rough.
God. Bro.
Yeah, but I had a baby brother. And so like it wasn't important to me. Like it like him, like obviously like it was like iconic, but like I wanted my baby brother to have somebody to grow up and look up to.
Mm-hmm.
And like it would be so cool to like look up to a Jedi and not some black dude that was like that, like it was inferred that he had a crush on the white woman. You know?
And also that he had a criminal past.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Because like
rough.
he was a stormtrooper. Yeah. That was the thing. And then
yeah, and also no, because it's crazy because I wasn't even talking about Finn. I was talking about Lando because Lando flirts with Princess Leia, and it's also implied that he...
Can we get into Oscar Isaac's character also being a spice runner? Because he's Hispanic, honey.
Oh yeah.
No.
Ooh, racism.
Oh.
Can we get into it for a second?
I don't know what to say. This is you guys' realm.
Bruh.
Don't know.
Bruh. But anyways.
Well, yeah.
It must be rough being a Star Wars fan.
No, because like, and John Boyega did this, like, John Boyega went on this whole rant, like, Twitter rant about it, about how, like, they handled his character so poorly, and, like, you fumble the bag. Like,
True.
On a black character, and like it's just like we're in a place in society now, and like in pop culture now where you can't do that. Like you can't afford to do that, where you're going to literally like
make or break your
reputation. You're gonna make or break like the perception of black people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like at this point, everything that you make, especially like as big as Disney. Mm-hmm. Everything that you make has some type of importance politically. And so, like, the fact that they did that, like, bro, when I tell you, it was crazy. Like, I remember when the teaser came out and my dad was hyped. Like, me and my dad were hyped behind it. Like, we were excited. And, like, I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so happy that, like, my baby brother is going to have somebody to, like, grow up and, like, look up to. Like,
okay.
Like, being able to look at, like, see a Jedi that, like, see somebody, but like see a black person become a Jedi, because like all like that that was the mindset, because like nobody like cared about Mace Windu like that. Like he was Samuel L. Jackson.
It was yeah. You look at Mace Windu, oh, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, like, and when you look at Mace Windu, you're like
cameo.
Yeah, like no, like when you look at Mace Windu, you're like, oh my god, that's Samuel L. Jackson. Did you know that he asked George Lucas to have this purple lightsaber?
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, like that. Like that's all that you talk about,
trivia.
because like he was already Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
So like, and also just like casting Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu also just like kind of took away like the mystique of like the character, because he was already who he was.
It's a classic George Lucas move.
So like you couldn't even appreciate who like Mace Windu was, because like
when
when white people look at Samuel L. Jackson, you're not like, oh, he's black, he's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Anyways, I just wanted to Star Wars rant. I'm so sorry, that was so terrible.
Quick question, because it'll lead like into what I'm going to talk about. Was Finn, that's the character's name? Was his role essentially like it could have been played by a white dude and it would have been the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Well, that's another. His character was like purely for the sake of
helping
of right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can also get into like them fumbling Rose's character too.
Oh god.
Man.
And like
talk about that whole storyline in episode 8 with the like the club and like the racing thing. Oh my god.
But like also like Rose, and then like the woman who played Rose, and how like what she had to deal with.
Yeah.
And like how like she basically like just stop social media because like misogynists, like racists and like misogynists were just like harassing her on social media about her role that she did not write. Like she did not write the role. Like, why are you mad at her? Yeah. Because they hired her and they paid her to do it.
Yeah, talk to the writers.
Right. But whatever.
Anything else.
Child. But yeah, like that. Me and Star Wars have beef.
You keep that beef.
Because of that. Stop.
There's just too much happening on the Star Wars plane for me. I'm sorry.
Please. You have to, okay, I want you to like, we have to watch Star Wars. And then when you watch like the last 3, you're going to be like, huh? Like the transition from Finn's character from like the first movie to the last movie, you're going to be like, well, what was he there? What was he there for?
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And when I the teaser was like,
I feel like I saw the teaser and I was like,
bro,
oh,
the teaser was like he had the lightsaber. He was like, oh my god, and like turned it on. Dude was not in contact with that lightsaber until the end of the movie, bro. And he turned and no, like it was like something happened. Somebody dropped their lightsaber or something. Dude picked it up. It was like, ha!
And then he like got his ass beat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then Rey, and like it was like essentially like it was for Rey to use. It was for the white woman to use. It was for him to hand to the white woman.
Okay.
All right. Anyways.
Okay, back to Octavia Butler.
Nice.
Jerks.
Well, because you said science fiction, and I was like, Star Wars.
I just need to lean forward for a second. I'm sorry, my back hurts.
Essentially, Octavia Butler was writing stories about fantastic people, is what she talked about. But majority of the time, they were black people. It was just interesting people doing interesting things, is what she would say in her quotes. And they were all stories based on like black narrative.
All right, y'all. This is a disclaimer. You are about to hear the air come on, and it will be on for maybe 5 minutes. We're struggling out here. It's hard out here for a pimp. But listen to it, because, you know, the content is good. Enjoy.
It was very, like, real world, like, okay, this is what's happening around me. And she would proceed to write in a way, like, she would respond to the real world events by writing her stories. So there was none of her stories can be like replaced with like a white character. Yeah. And that's what I love about her writing.
Yes. Okay. Let's get into that for a second. Like writing a character and making that character black, and not writing a character as a default character and then putting a black person into that role.
Can we talk about? Okay, I feel like one that I've heard about a lot about is
just because I don't have anything smart to say this episode
love Harry Potter
doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to it.
To be like a black girl.
Okay, no. Okay.
All right, y'all.
That's what
Thank you for listening to Page 4.
Does, you know this.
I don't really think we got into all of it, but you got the gist.
Written the entire
Disney
series,
owes me money for emotional labor, and
or like,
thanks to you all for the music.
She was like, well, I didn't specify that she was white or black. We can get into Hermione's character because of this and this alone. This is coming purely from my recent discovery of this. When Draco, well, we can get into like the idea of genocide and all that stuff in Harry Potter, but like when Draco calls her a mudblood, there is a certain weight to that word.
Yeah.
That no one else can like. No one else can relate. Like they're like, well, like what's a mudblood?
Yeah.
Like,
so if you're like a black
mudblood
fan and you're reading that,
yeah, like, obviously he called her that word.
Yeah, like you're gonna associate that with that. Like you're gonna connect with Hermione, especially because it talks about her curly hair. Like, okay, finally, there's a character like me.
But also like no. Let's really get into this for a second. If we want to break down Hermione's character, Hermione was a know-it-all, and everyone hated her for it. Why was she a know-it-all? Because she had to know 10 times more than Harry, the rich white kid. Who
was he pure blood?
Well, technically he was, but his mom wasn't mudblood. Anyways,
okay.
But like, and we get into that too. Mm-hmm. But also like, what she went through is literally a black woman trying to make it in any type of academia ever.
Yes.
Like, she had to learn before she even got to school, because she knew that she was going to face prejudice, like just because of where she came from.
Picked her up.
And then also like the fact that her hair, like the whole
no, because even when you see it in the movies, like I can tell they tried to like make it super dramatic. Like it looks like curly, untamable hair.
Well, in the book, like her hair makes her stand out. Like, but
her curls fall throughout the movie.
Yeah, but why does her hair make her stand out? You know. And so like if you wanna get into like her hair making her stand out, and her also just having to work 10 times harder, and then the whole idea of being a pureblood and what that means, and like Draco and like the Death Eaters being the clan. Like I just feel like
they even had the pointy hoods.
Yeah. No, if you really like, not a lot of people I think want to like think about it, like critically think about it from that perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a really tough thing about like the creative realm, simply because, like you said, like JK does, you can add literally anything you want. A whole lot of writers today with like animation movies, they like to queer bait stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like I'm over that part of it. I feel like that's very inherently. I'm gonna say it's just part of like mainstream media. Like white people will do that. They'll do it so that they can tack on stuff so that they can get more views from their people. And I think that's just so scary.
Yeah, like that. Well, like we can like J.K. Rowling like writing that character. Obviously, she didn't write Hermione as being black. Obviously, she didn't. Like we know that because of what we know about her now.
But we need it would have been nice if she would have acknowledged, like, okay, somebody.
Well, no, and like the reason why is because I don't. Evo, you read the books, right?
Yes, I read the books.
So you know the black kid in the movies. Is he described as black in the books?
You mean the black kid who's always sitting around that other?
I think his name is Dean Thomas.
Yeah, and there was one black kid.
And they make sure he's on the screen.
And I think it's the same black kid like throughout the entire movie, like all the movies.
I don't see any.
But I don't remember like reading the description of him being black.
Why do you know his name?
Because I'm telling you, bro, I read the books like 6 times.
Oh my gosh.
Was he like described as black or no?
Oh God.
But wasn't like Harry's love interest? What was her name?
There's the Asian girl.
Yeah.
What's her name? Rough.
What was her name?
Cho Chang.
But that's what I'm saying. Like J.K. Rowling wrote that character to be that stereotype and to like be that archetype of like what people think like how Asians are.
And I think
so like we can't attribute to her like writing this complex character that is literally like a black woman.
Yeah.
Like we can't be like, oh, she was smart to like not mention it to try and trick readers. No. She was racist when she did that. So we know for a fact that she didn't write Hermione to be black. Mm-hmm. She wrote Hermione to be Hermione, and she didn't realize subconsciously that she did that.
Yeah.
So like also just like when you're writing a character, you have to think about, would this character really act like that if they were black? Mm-hmm. Like when you write a character and you're like, ooh, I want this person to be black, think about like, would they act like that? And this is like this podcast I listened to, and they were talking about the kissing booth. And in the kissing booth, there's like the Mean Girl trio. I talked to you about this. The Mean Girl trio, and one of the girls is black. And this dude on the podcast, he's black, and he was saying how something about Mean Girl trios that don't make sense is making one of them black, because she would never be in that trio.
She wouldn't.
Exactly. And
but
the
then
reason
again, we know
she would have been
black.
othered.
We know black women who, like, we personally know black women who are in like.
No, but like in the sense of like in the kissing booth, it's like a largely white school.
Oh.
It's a largely white school, and this is like the Mean Girl trio who like holds power over like the white protagonists. Mm-hmm. That's like the nerdy like underdog. Yeah. Like obviously if if these girls are going to bully like these white kids, and like especially like one of the kids was like rich, like he was loaded, so like. But like bullying them doesn't make any sense for her to even be in the Mean Girl trio, because like she would have been bullied too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like, and that whole thing about like how like writing a character and not making characters interchangeable, but like actually writing characters to be black, because when you write a black character, you have to think about all the other aspects of being black, and like their hair.
Yeah.
And like
I still don't know how to write a black person, if I have to be honest with you.
Me neither.
It's really tough. I'm gonna out myself real quick. Everyone's read fan fiction.
Oh.
Evo's never read fan fiction.
Okay, every time.
Evo, have you read fan fiction? Have you read fan fiction before?
No, I've not actually read fan fiction.
Okay, so essentially, I'm gonna summarize it for you. You have this thing you like, and you think, oh yes, I would like this fantasy scenario, and you want to be in it. There's these things called YN. It's essentially like your name. So it's like self-insert stories.
Roleplay.
Oh.
Roleplay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's like pick your own adventure. But like,
yeah, I mean, I've heard y'all talk about
and a lot of the ones that a young black woman will find will talk of luscious blonde locks, luscious brown locks, blue eyes, brown eyes, your pale porcelain skin. Never is there ever like an option to add your skin color.
Oh, bro, but can we talk about like the descriptions of like black characters, like caramel?
Chocolate. Stop! Don't do that. You can talk about it because I recently learned it from you. But just to summarize, they used to eat us. They used to eat us, and I don't like it. Don't do that. They used to. That's where picnic comes from.
Okay, actually, that's a lie.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a lie. I know. I know, cause like we went to the museum and they had like showed us like the pictures of like the guy that they like burned or whatever, and I was like, something ain't right about the way that they burned him, because like they burned him like they like roasted. Yeah.
No.
Like that's what he like. We were there. You were there.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, and I was looking at it like
they wanted it to burn a little too evenly.
Yeah. They were saying that like people used to like take pieces home of the people that they used to lynch.
They would take pictures and put them
postcards. Yeah, like they're like pictures like I promise white people, I want you to pay attention to the furniture that you have in your like grandparents' houses. I want you to pay attention to like the pictures that your grandparents have.
The shoes?
Yes. I want you to pay attention to like the shoes and like what else? I'm trying to think. Like the pictures that your grandparents have that may not be in the universal like picture, like the picture book, like the universal one that like everyone looks at, because y'all, it wasn't that long ago.
It really wasn't.
Like lynching was not that long ago. And
that's why we don't feel
like I want y'all to like really look at what y'all grandparents own, and like look at the stuff that they have and like the weird stuff that they have, and really like
think about it like this: if you walk into a Cracker Barrel and your grandparents got half them items, run.
Oh yeah, Cracker Barrel, bruh.
I can't go in there. I don't know.
I feel like
I teared up last time.
I don't like Cracker. Yeah, I don't like Cracker Barrel. Cool, whatever. But sometimes you need the spice of like you might get hate crimed. You know?
No, I love to threaten. I love to feel like my life is threatened on occasion. Yeah. But I want to be in control of that.
Like I love to walk in the room and being like, I know I don't belong here. Can I please have my biscuits, please?
It feels good to be in a space.
Like I might get called a slur, but at least these pancakes hit.
I went there once, and I think all my food was burnt. It didn't taste good.
I don't think my food was great last time I went there. I remember
the
not
pancakes,
liking
I wanted them to be bomb. I wanted them to be so good, but they weren't to me.
It depends on the Cracker Barrel that you go to, but also you got to think about you went and you're black.
I also tried apple butter for the first time there, and it wasn't good. It wasn't that great.
Apple butter, child. Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Okay.
We've been off topic.
Yeah, we've been.
Well, honestly, this about to be a free for all. This second episode is gonna be free for all. Anyways.
So this is 2 episodes now?
Yeah.
Second episode, I don't even touch on the music.
Well, no, the second episode, I believe it was just like me to talk about art.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's pretty dope. You can really reach like a lot of problems simply because, like I said, we're essentially all space cadets. We will create something, and then once it's put in the hands of real world people, it will go just about anywhere. Or then you have to like decipher how you're going to manipulate your fantasy into an okay way. Because like, let's take anime into example. Half of the anime stuff that you're gonna watch that are like fantasy world stuff, there's always going to be a character that is a slave, and you're just gonna have to deal with that.
Bruh,
there's gonna be a race that's a slave, and then there's gonna be the race that is non-human but still loved, and it's simply because of some weird crazy thing. And I think that we should also like take all that common sense that I just said there and apply it to real world, like history, art history, music history, any kind of history. There's always going to be something like that. There's tropes in literally every aspect of life.
Let's get into something else real quick, because I know this is like a thing that I saw like last year about cosplaying. And
I used to try to do that, and it was ruined for me.
Yeah, well, let's get into this for a second. Is that like a lot of white cosplayers were like, ooh, this black person can't cosplay this character because they are black. And just simply because like the skin color is not the same. And it was people having to tell people, you realize they're not white either, right? Like I just like want y'all to realize that like what you're consuming, they're not white. It wasn't
made for you.
Yeah, like it wasn't made for you. Like that's not like.
That's what I'm saying. People are always going into, a lot of white people go into other people's media with their white perception.
Yes,
and they're just like, they look like me. And there's more often than not, you're gonna find a lot of mainstream media that you can easily get that's gonna have like white main characters. You have to dig to get a black main character.
Yeah, but also like, let's get into like something else for a second. Is that like the whole thing about anime being like weird?
It's
weird. Like, people who watch anime are weird. Think about it for a second. Like I really want you to think about what you're saying. Why do you think anime is weird?
I think it's just because it's a specific.
I think it's just xenophobia.
It could be. Well, no, because some people in the community are actually, they don't have boundaries, or they don't have common sense.
Like
for example, waifus. Yeah. Waifu culture is disgusting. They are literally saying, this child is my waifu. And then, there's also anime that justifies it, where it's like, oh, this person looks like a child, but they're 160, so
or like
fine.
They're a robot.
They're a robot, so it's fine. Please. But I need you to realize that this is still a depiction of a child. This picture that you're seeing, you're calling it your wife, it's being sexualized. Yeah, I need you to be aware. So a lot of people in the anime community aren't aware of that. Like, for example, when I said that dumb junk, but I was kidding at the time. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to do that. But we need to think about that. The community sometimes goes overboard. A lot of people, there's a long list of like sexual harassment, assault type thing. Trigger warning. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the community, so that's why I see why people are like, oh, it's weird, or like people think, oh, you dress up as cartoons, you're childish, that's weird.
Well, like my thing is that like like a lot of people are like, ew, you watch anime, that's weird. And it's like, why do you think it's weird? Like I want you to articulate. I want you to say, because I used to do this all the time in high school. When when somebody would say something like low key racist, I'd be like, tell me why. It's like I want.
Think it's an exaggeration for me.
No, because like we're talking about like this is about people who don't watch anime. Mm-hmm. If you don't watch anime, you don't know key characteristics of anime. Yeah. You don't know what anime is or what it consists of, and it's also just like when you lump like anime together like that, you don't even like, there are like different types of animes.
Mm-hmm. There is
like, and this goes back to like what we were talking about with like lumping rap all together into one thing. Mm-hmm. You can't lump anime all into one thing, and that's what happens when something from another culture is like available for just like for mass consumption,
so
like by white people.
You would prefer is like, I don't like anime because they sexualize children.
Well, no, because that's like you're generalizing.
Okay, well, some of them do.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like when you're like, oh, I don't like anime. Oh, we watch anime. That's weird. And it's like, why do you like? I want you to tell me why you think it's weird because
But half of the people who say that they like the classics, which is Dragon Ball, One Piece, Bleach, and then they go hard for it. And there's literally rappers who like.
What I'm saying is like there are people that like even then like those people can still like acknowledge like the significance of anime and like
there's people who will just like wanna like they see any type of anything close to anime and they're like no
they think it's weird and like why like I want you to tell me why like I just like
I'm sorry the music be fire. I don't know why they're haters. No, there's some aspects of it that are fire. Like of course you're gonna see something you don't like or something that you just don't vibe with. But that doesn't mean it's all bad.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you have to get it. You have to get into anime. What I'm saying is that like you might want to check if you're being loud and wrong. Because like you being like, ew, I don't watch anime. That's weird. Why do you think anime is weird? And I want you to tell me like a good explanation, like an actual explanation as to why you think it's weird, because you can't generalize anime. Like you can't be like, well, all like anime has this. No, animes have that. Mm-hmm. And like anime has this. Well, no, animes have that. Well, I watch Avatar. It's not anime.
it's a cartoon based on anime.
So like, I don't know, like stuff like that. Think about it. Think about how you speak about anime too, because that might not if it's not your culture, then why are you speaking on it?
Yeah. Essentially, to sum up the this episode and the one before, watch what you consume and ask yourself why you don't consume specific content, and then maybe just maybe change that, and just let people create, man. Let them create and don't be grody,
please. I feel like pay attention to what you're consuming. And I feel like I always say this: pay attention to what you're consuming and where it comes from. Mm-hmm. Cause like you may think that what you're what you're consuming and what you're partaking in is like just what it is, and it may not be just that. It may have some cultural significance or like some historical like aspects to it that you may like benefit from if you like actually went out of your way to learn that. Don't blindly just consume media because it makes you feel good. Like pay attention to what you're consuming and where it comes from and who's making it, and responsibly consume like media. Yeah.
Word.
I mean, I don't do it, but still.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a private till I die. But,
you ain't gotta say all that now. They about to get us. Anyways, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Alright, y'all. Thank you for listening to page 4. I don't really think we got into all of it, but you got the gist. Disney owes me money for emotional labor, and thanks to Evo for the music.